I have a lot of respect for this bike, and I think because of that, it's gonna keep me safe. And we're off. I really need to get better equipment because the equipment that I have just isn't all that convenient, but it'll do for now. Anyways, what's going on YouTube? This is my second video. First video I went to PC8 and I didn't record any commentary because honestly I just wanted to just post my first video and just to do it because this is something I've been wanting to do for a while. But today we're going to be talking. We're going to be taking Angeles Crest, which is like an infamous highway in the mountains that a lot of bikers and car and motorcycle enthusiasts venture frequently. Just get some footage. Doesn't have to be all that much, but little introduction to myself. My name is Colt. I've been out in LA for about 10 years. Just turned 30 this year. I've been wanting to make a YouTube for a minute now. I have so many ideas that I've been working with for a while now. But I got a motorcycle about 6 months ago, and a little bit over 6 months. And I love it. Got a really good deal on Craigslist. This guy, he's a senior, and he owned this 2013 Ninja 300. Oh, look at that view. Holy anyways, he owned a 2013 Ninja 300 and he sold it for $3,200. It has very low mileage. It was hardly ridden at all, and he pretty much just kept it in his garage. I think there was one previous owner who had it briefly, but this bike is essentially new. It's a 10-year-old bike, but it's hardly ever been ridden. So really good deal on this bike. I'm very proud of this purchase. It's only been 6 months and I'm already itching to get a bigger bike, a 600. I'm taking my time, I'm not rushing, but man, I've really grown into this bike very quickly. Way quicker than I anticipated. Doesn't take away from the fact that this is a really fun bike. And it does just fine on the highway. There's a lot of vibration once you get over 80 miles per hour, but it comfortably rides at 80, which is exactly what I needed because I'm not really going much faster than that. Although I will admit I would be lying if I didn't say that I have ridden this bike a little hard a few times. The temptation is definitely there. But for the most part, I stay within my limits, within my skill range, which I think everybody should do. I have a lot of respect for this bike, and I think because of that, it's gonna keep me safe. I haven't dropped this. Well, technically I dropped it like the first day that I brought it home. I wasn't riding. I was literally trying to prop the bike up and it just slipped out of my hand. And luckily there's guards on this bike. I didn't get a single scratch on it, but this is my first time doing this ride, this Angeles Crest Highway, and man, it is gorgeous. It is gorgeous, man. And this bike is perfect for these types of roads. But yeah, I've been in LA for about a decade. It'll be 10 years coming this September. I'm originally from the East Coast, from a pretty small town in Virginia. When I was about 20 years old, I just decided, screw it, let's just go to the West Coast. My brother had already lived out here. I have a twin brother who was already living in LA for about a year, so it made I had somewhere to stay for a little bit. It made it a little easier. But I drove across the country in a 2001 Honda Civic, and that was my first car I ever bought. And man, it struggled getting across the country. I got across the country just barely. I had to make a couple stops because my car kept overheating. And that car was 15 years old at that point. So I think there was about 150,000, 200,000 miles on it. I mean, it was a pretty ran through car, but man, I loved it. I mean, it was great. It got me through. It got me across the country, which is exactly what I needed. And yeah, I've been in LA since then. I think the thing I love the most about LA is that, I mean, people say that it's such a cliche, but like, you can literally go to the mountains, the beach, within, you know, hour, 2 hours of each other. And the weather, I mean, it's amazing. The weather is wonderful out here. You know, LA will always get kind of a stigma to certain groups of people. You can debate politics all you want. I'm not really here on this channel to talk about that, but I've had my ups and downs in this city, but my love has always remained. The limerence has kind of worn off a bit. I'd say it wore off at about 4 years. Those first 4 years in LA were just magical, man. I mean, truly magical. I mean, like I was in my 20s. I made a lot of friends. There was so much to do out here. So that the bar life was great. The nightlife was great. So many good memories all over this city. And I've definitely grown up since then. And this city in a lot of areas has changed. A lot of my favorites, shops, bars, restaurants, a lot of them have shut down and are continuing to shut down all over the city. It's really sad to see. I've been all over this city. Just about every area of this city, I can point to a landmark or somewhere that, like, I'm like, yeah, I have a memory of that particular area, and I was at that particular place in my life, and I had this thing going on in my life, and it was just fantastic. I've definitely had my struggles. I mean, within the first year that I moved out here, I was moving around a lot. I was crashing on people's couches, got kicked out a couple times. It took a minute to get my footing. Matter of fact, it actually took like several years before I really actually got a place of my own and an actual, like, permanent address. Now, there were a few times that I was actually homeless. I mean, there was like a 2-week period where I was like living in my car. That shit was really humbling. This city can really humble you, man. And what I've noticed about a lot of LA transplants, and I can speak on this because I'm an LA transplant myself, even though I've been out here for a decade, you know, I pretty much consider myself as being a Californian at this point. But the thing that I can say about LA transplants is that one of two things happens. Either one, you're like me, who takes the city for what it is, immerses themselves in the culture, and loves it through for better and worse. Or you could be like a lot of LA transplants that I see out here that come from the Midwest and usually live in the areas of LA that are more affluent, like the Arts District in North Hollywood, Studio City. I mean, if you're from LA, you know what I'm talking about. Like the nicer areas where there's, you know, $3,000 studio luxury apartments that some of these LA transplants come in on mommy and daddy's money and to pursue an acting career or whatever, and you know, they end up just not doing as well as they'd like, and so their opinion of LA is just completely tainted because they only see the bad, they only see their failures, which is a shame because, you know, like there's been points where that could have easily happened to me, where I could have let my struggles and hardships get me down, but I've chosen to accept things about life the way that they are, and I can either complain about it and say LA, or I could just adapt, understand that life isn't easy, it's never been easy for me, and just do the best that I can. Try to see the beauty in everything, because there's a lot of beauty in this city. I mean, look at this view, man. I could go west in about an hour from here and end up on the beach. It's just, I don't think I'll ever get tired of this, to be honest. Which is why I don't want to leave California. I don't think I'll ever get tired of this view, man. I think I'm gonna go that way, because that way looks like it's the middle of nowhere. And actually, I think that might take me to the other side of the mountain range, so towards Palmdale. I'm not sure though. But anyways, it's a little further than I'd like to go. We'll check it out on the way back. There's too many blind corners. I don't want to get hit. So yeah, it is. Wow, it's just like I've never been up here before. It's so quiet and peaceful. So where I'm from a pretty rural area, and I grew up in the outdoors a lot. I used to go to an adventure summer camp in North Carolina, and it had everything that you could possibly think of at a summer camp. It had hiking, sailing, kayaking, canoeing, mountain biking. It even had sports like soccer, tennis. I mean, it was a fantastic camp. It was sleepaway camp, so you'd be gone for several weeks. And my parents did a really good job at ensuring that me and my brother were very active and outside a lot as kids. And that has been instilled in me, and it stayed with me my whole life. So like I've always felt at peace and one with nature, as cliche and corny as that sounds, but it's true. I have a really good sense of direction. I feel very comfortable out in the wilderness. In fact, you know, like I've been wanting to plan a trip to Canada actually, and not just like Toronto, but like I want to go to the Great North, like the northern provinces, like northern BC and near Yukon. Now that's like, you know, that's something that's going to require a lot of planning and preparation, but that's on my bucket list. But yeah, a little about me, man. I love my solitude. Love my solitude. I cherish it. It's something that I need in my life. And so coming out to a place like this, I mean, it's just, I love it. I love that I'm not in bumper to bumper traffic. The air is also a lot cleaner up here. I can smell it. I can feel it. I think I should start heading back. But yeah, I don't really have like a specific vision of what I'm gonna do with this channel, but I'm kind of just doing it like as I go. But I would like to use this channel as like a way to express my thoughts on just basically anything, whether it be sentimental or hell, it could just be about what movie I watched last week or something, you know? I'd love to build some kind of community. Oh, bridge, nice. It's getting a little bit more chilly. I think I'm in second gear. Monte Cristo. Damn, that sucks, dude. Holy. Oh my god, that sucks.